Okay, so hello everybody. We are here in the fourth and last Q&A session for the IIT in Denmark. This session is being recorded and we're asking for everybody's consent to publish it in Facebook and CNVC's networks. So please thumbs up if you consent to this. Thank you. And then if anyone else joins us, we will make it clear straight away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
welcome. We have 3 more people signed up, but I don't know if they will come. So we'll see. But here we are. We are all yours, Gesine. What would you like to know?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say hello. I wanted to be I wanted to become connected, and also, yeah, I'm curious to hear a little bit, maybe where the organization is so far, you know, how many people have signed up and so on. I'm curious.
Yeah, we can share some information. And maybe we also start with a little bit of an introduction. Would you like to say more about yourself?
yes. And so I am Drew. I'm one of the organizers of the IIT, but I'm mainly learning with the more experienced ones and trying to catch up and not to mess up really bad. And I am Brazilian. I live in Finland and I'm moving away in 1 month or less to the Netherlands. And I'm going by bicycle, and in the middle of the way, I'm going to stop by in Denmark for the IIT. That's me. Sudha, would you go next?
Yeah, I'm just picturing you cycling from Finland and stopping by for an IIT and then going on ahead to the Netherlands. And so, yeah. So I'm, well, I think all of you know me, so I'm wondering what am I supposed to say, but I will say that I'm from India, and I've been actively engaged with NVC since 2009, my first ever training. And I think when I first took my training, I did not know that it was going to be such a momentous influence on my life. But I knew it within, I think, 3 hours of sitting for my first training and listening to what I heard at that time, that this was life-changing for me. And I'm very glad, because I think we have a growing community in India. And initially, trainers would come in once a year for a convention that was organized, an international convention. And I think thanks to Salim, my first trainer, who helped me and a few of others in Delhi set up a practice group. So I like to say this, perhaps some of you heard this also for me. So we had the language of life in one hand and the workbook on the other hand. And we had 52 weeks before the next trainers came in. So we had any sort of, this is before the internet. And so it was for me that, that we just held on to each other, knew that this was very, very important in our lives, and we stuck to it. And so now we've grown as a community, and it's lovely to know then we started organizing conventions ourselves, and that one became more and more deeper. And then, of course, I remember, Kirsten, your words, why aren't you going in for certification? And I remember also telling you that I'm too old to pass exams. Very puzzled, and said, it's not an exam, you grow into certification. And that was a very, very, very significant remark. It really landed very deeply. So that's me, and here I am. I'm also, I became certified in 2017, and I decided to go on the assessor path too. So I'm an assessor in training up until now. And yeah, I'm happy that we are here going to meet each other during for the IIT that's coming. I think that's a long introduction, and I will pause to pass it on to Kirsten and then onwards.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I live in Denmark and it's my home country. And the last IIT in Denmark was in 2017, also initiated and organized by me. And now it's me again taking this initiative. And luckily, I have a wonderful team of organizers with me. Maju is one of them, and there's Maria and Sikita, who also live in Denmark and were also organizer last time in 17. So it feels very good, supported, very nice to have this team as the practical support for this huge event to happen. It's wonderful. Yeah. I met Marshall in 98. So what is it now? 26 years ago. And I was certified in 2003 or 4 and has made NVC into my working life. That's my full-time job and has been for 20 years. So it's very sweet for me to arrange this international intensive training in my home country. Thank you. So, Gesine, would you like to say more about yourself as part of the introduction?
Yeah. My name is Gesine. I'm original from Hamburg, Germany, and now living in Bristol in the UK. With my partner Shantigara, who's also a certified trainer. And I came across, I went also to a workshop near to my hometown, Hamburg, where Marshall Rosenberg was giving an introductory. And I guess this was also for me the moment to continue this journey, because I felt so inspired and motivated and hopeful. And yeah, I got certified 2016. And on my journey, I met Sudha and Kirsten in India. And and I'm very looking forward to meet you in person again in Denmark. And I applied as a support trainer or attending trainer. And I hope, to contribute and to learn and grow.
Thank you, Gesine. I just want to welcome Debbie, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Shinyu, and we are in a check-in. So would Debbie want to tell a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, everyone. My name is Debbie. It's pronounced Richard, and I am in Louisiana, preferably New Orleans, Louisiana. And this is my first time joining you guys on this call. So therefore, I am looking to learn a lot from you guys to see what you guys have to offer.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. And is it Shinyu want to say a little bit?
Yeah, sorry, my internet connection is not so good. Yeah, I'm just curious and wanted to learn more about the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you. And could you please correct me and teach me how to pronounce your name?
Yeah, Xingyu is fine.
Xingyu, okay, thank you. And just as a reminder, wrote it in the chat, this session is being recorded and it will be published in the Center for Nonviolent Communications Networks and Facebook. So if you please just let us know if you don't want to show in the publishing. We will do something about it. Yeah. So, Kirsten, would you want
Being
to?
that it's my first time, I would prefer not to be in the showing because I don't know what everything is about.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to turn off your camera, we can try to erase this moment when you speak to the Richard. Thank you very much.
I will do that. Thank you.
Yes.
And if you also don't want your voice to be recorded, you can ask your questions in the chat, which will not be published.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, having heard a little bit from everyone, shall we start with some of the questions that Gesine had? Can you remind me what you asked us in the beginning?
Maybe a little bit about how many people have signed up, how is this going forward, and yeah, hearing a little bit what to expect.
Yeah. Ju, would you like to answer that?
Yes, I can answer that. So far, we have registered around 45 participants that have fully registered, and there is still about 10 to 15 more coming from the Erasmus program. And they are confirmed, just the bureaucracy is on its way. And so we cannot fully know yet how many exactly from this 10, 15 are coming, but something around that number. And some more participants making questions still and applying for financial support. So this number might get to 60 pretty soon. And so there was the number of participants. Is there something else that I missed?
Maybe, if it's coming back to me, then maybe about, yeah, maybe if you share again the trainer team and maybe how many people come as an attending trainer, and
Yes, sure.
about
So
the venue,
as
maybe a little bit.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I can start, or Kirsten, would you start answering about the venue since you have been there and I haven't?
Yeah. Yeah, the venue is a very beautiful place, very close to the ocean and or the sea. I think it's the Kattegat, so it's inside waters, but it's the sea. And there they have space for many more people than we will have. We want the IIT to be not more than 70 people. So we are aiming for that number so we can have a chance to get to know each other. And there are many different levels of accommodation for you to choose, whether you want to have the most expensive and with your own bathroom, or you want to have it cheaper or stay in a camping hut or in your tent. There are different options for people to choose, which I like, that there is a choice of how much money you need to spend on the room and board. And you ask about the trainer team also.
I saw it, but I thought it would be nice to hear it again.
Yeah. So the trainer team is Sudha and I. We are two of them. And then we have Carl Plesner, who you might have heard of. He's a Danish man, but living in Ukraine and doing some peace work there, and have done since 2014. So he has spent 10 years there. Sorry. He's married to a Ukrainian woman. He lives there now. And there is Martin van der Meulen from the Netherlands, who I have known for many years. And we have done some work together in the past. And he is doing quite a lot of NVC training for NGOs, for business, for public institutions. And then we have Farah from Belgium, Luxembourg, who I also met in India. So India seems to be a meeting place here. many years ago. And also we have been doing some work together, and I look forward to be with the 5 of us. Yeah. What more would you like to know?
How many attending trainers?
Yeah, I think there are
I-
6, isn't it?
I counted 5 last time.
Yeah. But there are 2 attending trainers who signed up and are paying fully. And then there are a couple who are there as these free seats that is given to certified trainers. And there's we don't know about the last ones if they will come. There are 2 or 3 more on the list, but I don't know if they will come. But the
Yeah.
free seats have been given, so
Yeah,
Mm.
I feel
maybe we
grateful.
maybe we will end with the 5 that you said. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just to share a bit about them. They are Anja Uferman, Hester Macrander, Marike Christiansen, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it well, Peter Ulrik Jensen, and you.
Mm,
Yes, so
yeah,
far these ones are the truly confirmed ones.
yeah, exciting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you. Maybe other people have questions?
Yeah, I was just thinking that some of the questions we're talking about now, that it might be we're talking in a what do you say, in a language that is not so easy to know what we're talking about unless you know about IITs and NVC trainings. So let's open up for Richard and Sinu also to ask some questions. What would you like to know about this training happening in Denmark?
I noticed on the website that you guys have the information out there, your package to purchase that information. So you all just basically train individuals to be able to roll out the training to other people that may be interested in NVC. Is that accurate?
Yeah, you're talking about the certification process. If you want to be a certified trainer, then it's recommended that you take one of these 9-day trainings as part of your education.
Okay, sounds
is that
good.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are one of these recommended 9-day trainings.
Okay, 9-day training. And where are these trainings held?
All over the world, and this one in Denmark. So we're talking about
Okay.
the one that will be in Denmark in August.
In August. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, can you share a link to CNVC's page where all the IITs are?
Yeah.
Yes, so you know something about NVC already since you have been looking into this, I guess. Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
And are you planning to come to Denmark?
I think so. That's why I'm inquiring. I have a relative of mine that's currently there this week. And that's why I said that I wanted to join you guys online. And now that I found out about the 9-day training, I'll check the link out and see what's going on with it.
Okay, sounds good.
And I have a question for you. Are you intending to become a certified trainer someday? Or a
Yes,
candidate?
I am. Yes.
Great. Yeah.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope to meet you in person in Denmark.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I've seen you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what kind of formats would the training be and what kind of topics would you cover?
Yeah. Sudha, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, the format itself is nine during the days. There are 2 circles where we meet all together, one in the beginning of the day after breakfast and one just before dinner. That's when the entire group sits together. And the first session is about leading all of us into the day, so to say, as well as putting out what are the possible trainings that the trainers are planning for the day. So we let the participants know what is on the schedule, and then you are free to choose where you want to go. There will be 2 training sessions parallelly conducted by at least 4 of us um, uh, during the day, one before lunch and one after lunch. And there's also something called what we call home groups, which is when there is a smaller group of that's decided on the first day as to who will be in the groups, and that's when you sit together and you share what has been your learning of the day, your insights of the day. So it's like a small family within a larger family, and we end the day with what we call harvesting, or talking through what we have experienced during the day, what could be our celebrations and what could be our mournings, and what could be some requests that we have possibly for the next days to come. So, and then there's after dinner, there's again 1 more hour of when participants can bring their understanding of nonviolent communication. There are people who are on the certification path who may wish to present something and have this an opportunity for them to get feedback, etc. So the day begins early. I think it's around about 9 o'clock and goes on post dinner. So it's a packed day. And I forget what was the second question that you asked. What are the topics? So
Yes.
yeah, would you like to go with that, Kirsten? Yeah. I
Yeah,
put it. Yeah,
can
but
say
you go
something.
ahead. Yeah.
So the topics will be all around nonviolent communication and all the ways you can apply it in your life, in your work, in conflict resolution, in connecting with your family, getting a better connection with your teenagers, if that's the thing in your life. So the topics will be all around nonviolent communication and how we can use it to help us have better connections and create peace, to build a more peaceful world. And the topics will be designed around some main topics like empathy, honesty, self-empathy, social change, education, and gratitude, a practice of gratitude, and conflict resolution. So these topics will be spread out over the 9 days, plus many other topics in addition, whatever the trainers would like to offer in addition and what the participants are asking for. So you can make a request if you have a topic for how can I heal my inner child, if that's a topic. How can I do that with the support of NVC? Or how can I liberate myself from my cultural heritage that limits me so I don't feel free to express myself? How can I apply the nonviolent approach with myself to set myself free? And other things like that. So are there any topics that you especially hope will be there? Then we can maybe address that also.
Yeah. I'd like to add one more thing,
Yeah.
which is that there are a few people who are beginners to nonviolent communication, and so there will be a track, sort of for beginners, the fundamentals of nonviolent communication, coming early during the first 2-3 days of the training, so that then the people who get familiar, who are introduced to NVC, can then branch out into other areas which can be of interest to them.
So did this answer your question, Sinu?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
So where do you live? Are you coming to Denmark?
I'm considering, I'm currently in China.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah. So I'm considering.
It would be lovely to have someone from China join us.
It'd be
And-
really
and-
cool to visit.
And do you have any topics that you're especially curious about, Senior?
So I attended the IIT in China last year with my parents.
Oh.
I am, so I think in the family context it's very interesting.
Mhm.
Especially both my parents came away with a lot of new learnings and insights.
Yeah.
I think it's more about like, I guess, continuing living in a certain ways, because I feel like during the training they had a lot of, like, including myself, a lot of insights and
Mhm.
excitement and new experiences, but like being able to take away the learnings and continuing on with the life is challenging or at times. And so that's kind of just like, how do you live
Yeah.
um
Mm.
with these concepts in mind. And then I think on top of that, for me, it's more just like being able to, like, now that I feel like I understand people more, like, how do I not get overwhelmed by people's needs?
Yeah. I like very much how you describe the takeaway, like a lot of insights. And then comes this period at home. How do I actually live it? And I'm just reminded of a way of speaking about NVC. It's easy to understand it, and it's attractive, and it's difficult to actually do it in our real life. And that's where we benefit so much from being together with other people who also want to practice this. So it sounds like you really had a lot of takeaway, and you are having that experience that there's more to it before we can really live it with each other. Is that correctly understood?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Every day with my parents is like, I think I'm really grateful because it's a very transformative experience for them, especially at their age and their, I guess, upbringing and our shared experiences. So it's a very special, like, experience for us.
Yeah.
But like, how to continue on with it,
Yeah.
is something new that I feel like we all need to figure out for ourselves.
Mhm. Yeah. More from you, Sudha, or Ju?
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to hear about your whole family. I mean, your parents as well as you attending a session, an entire IIT together, and I'm sort of imagining what sort of an impact that must have had, and the changes or the transformation that may have had, and knowing that there's, I think what I've heard people say that Marshall said, I never had an opportunity to train with him. But what Marshall said when he was asked what are the most important things in NVC, and I think what was reported to me and what I remember being told is it's intention, empathy, practice, practice, and practice. That's the way to really build the consciousness. And I think what helped me is to have the last three, that is the practice, practice, practice as much as possible. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Did any other questions? Yes, Sudha, go on.
My question, I heard from Debbie, but I'd love to hear from you, Shinyu. What would help you make that decision? come
Um,
to Denmark?
I think it's more just schedules because I think a lot of the questions I wanted to know, like on the logistics, has already been answered. So like it sounds like a very interesting, especially the topics you guys mentioned. There are a lot of overlaps with the Chinese IIT, but there's also ones that are new, I think probably because of sensitivities. So the ones that you mentioned about like peacemaking, education, like these all sounds really interesting. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to like, because things will always change. So like setting too firm expectations doesn't always like pan out. So it sounds very exciting already. And then for me, it's more just on my schedule, whether I can make the time
Mm.
for traveling.
Mm. Mm.
Thank you. It'd be lovely to see you here. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to answer my questions.
Other questions coming up?
Well, I have a comment that I have learned a lot being on this call. I'm very eager to see how the training goes for the 9 days. I can relate to a lot of the questions that Shin Yu and statements that she made as to be curious about NVC. I love the topics, the empathy, and the honest and open communication of the social changes. The fundamentals portion was real helpful to me, being a beginner and doing a lot of research on this topic. I have discovered a list of all the topics that are usually taught in the catalog that you all have online, and that's what basically triggered my interest even more so. And I like it. And one of the things that Shin Yu said is to how do you get into it more? And you all answered that question is to practice, practice, and practice. And I like that. So I think this is something great, even just to know, find out more about it, get more in depth, find out how to really practice it and put this into practice. So I'm grateful for being here.
Thank you for sharing.
I like the idea that people also can make a request what they would like to see happen. So there is structure as well as sense of flexibility. So I could imagine this can bring also this daily life aspect more into these 9 days. So what people struggle with. And so for example, when I applied, I brought also up neurodiversity because it become more and more my daily life, for example, people show up as I'm neurodiverse. What can you offer? So this is interesting for me to hear also a little bit or to experience something around neurodiversity and to be inclusive, how to address it, and maybe there's something comes up while we are together, and so that I guess I'm curious how it sometimes work out to be more and more inclusive. For me, it's sometimes still a little challenge.
Yeah, for sure. That's what all of us want to, develop skills in. And it's called an IIT, International Intensive Training. And I think we are blessed with our upcoming training that we have people from all over the world, from Canada in the west to Japan in the east and everything in between. Just looked up now the countries, like, of course, from Europe, there are many, from Austria, for example. There are people from Belgium, Bulgaria, which is not a place where we often have visitors from. And yeah, Canada, as I said, several people from Denmark. And we have France represented. We have Germany represented. And India, of course, Sudha will be here. And Iran, we have a person from Iran. And we have a person from Japan, Luxembourg, Netherlands. There are several people from the Netherlands. What else do we have? Poland, Portugal, Spain, Singapore. Yeah, I think Sweden, of course, is our neighboring country, Switzerland. So you get a sense that it's really international. I think we can say people are coming from all over the world. And that is a wonderful invitation to explore how do we live together peacefully with our differences. Yeah. Any comments, questions on this? We've quite some people from the United States, actually. A whole list of people from there.
From Pakistan as well, if the visas go as well.
Nepal.
Pakistan?
Nepal, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So is this giving some more ideas of this wonderful chance to live the diversity in a non-violent way and to learn with each other? Anything you want to add, Ju or Sudha?
I think what I'd like to say is that there's something very different about an in-person training. I mean, COVID gave us many online trainings, but there's something, the quality of the experience, and I'm talking about me personally, is very, very different and very impactful. It's about literally living, breathing NVC with a community. And I think the community aspect of it really comes through. We cannot thrive without a community. We cannot thrive without a community back home, wherever we are. So when we have an international community where we can reach out, it really is, when we talk of one world, I guess that's what we mean. You know, this is a microcosm of that, a little crucible in which we can actually experiment and be vulnerable and show our what limitations or whatever. I don't like to call them anything more other than things that maybe we are scared about or not so easy to speak about. And there's complete confidence, that's confidentiality that's maintained. It's a very safe place. At least that's what we try very hard to foster. So there's really something special about an IIT. I have seen people who have walked in and who say that, we are very individual people and we don't need too many people around us, and not recognizing themselves at the end of the the event, saying, wow, I didn't know I could open up so much. So that's really special to hear.
Yeah, I would like to hear if this stimulates more questions in that direction of who will you be with when you come to Denmark, if you come to Denmark. Is there more questions around this or things you would like to share?
I prefer the word when you come to Denmark.
Yeah, when you come. So what's your experience of coming together with people from all over the world?
Mm.
Anything you like to share or ask? Your own experiences or more questions?
It's an open question to all of us, Kirsten,
Yep,
or
yep.
is it
Yeah, to all of us. Yeah.
I personally feel excited because it's like bringing the whole world together and get a taste of it. And that I don't need to travel to all these countries. They come in one place. And I enjoy also the connection, really. Also, it doesn't matter where people come from. You know, we can connect on same interests, or yeah, I could imagine this venue will be as close to nature. Maybe we enjoy things together and experience something what I wouldn't get in other contexts. I guess this is very special for me, these staying together in 9 days, and then there's also depth. So I appreciate these international learning space. That it's really the peace building part, you know, that we get to know each other. I'm not pointing with fingers in this direction, so that here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, there is something quite complex and enriching and also thrilling about sharing so many days with people from different cultures. And I am Brazilian, and I lived until my adult life, I lived in Brazil. I'm outside for 8 years now, and when I came to Finland, for instance, I saw how different the topics of daily lives are. And I had judgments in me that Finnish people live in a bubble. And, you know, the Scandinavian system is so much more efficient and human than in Brazil and South America, that the social topics and discussions and strikes, they are completely different. They don't touch at all the same topics. And when I went to an IIT here and then to another IIT-like event in Kenya, I can just see how much it opens our eyes and gets us thinking about how NVC can be related to social topics in a way that never crossed our minds, and also learn from so many things on a more needs-based conversation about clothing, about interrupting people when they talk. Wow, it was just so rich and complex. Yeah.
We have time and space for more questions, more comments. If you're sitting with something you like to hear more about or explore. So all three of us, all three guests, you have some introduction to NVC, so you know what it is. We don't need to maybe dive into that so much. That you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm actually just curious about where Richard is with NVC. Have you participated in many days trainings already, or have you gone more to like online trainings? What's your experience so far with it?
Spend more online training, and that's why I'm interested in attending the personal training, in-person training. And I've been looking at the training link that you shared with me. I just had a friend that just returned from Morocco, and we are planning trips for next year to basically attend some of the in-person trainings in other countries. And I just recently looked at some of the information regarding the United States and Switzerland. I had a friend that recently attended a training in Switzerland. So that's why I'm glad you shared this link with me so that I can see where I want to plan to attend, because I do have multiple options now that I have access to this link.
That sounds wonderful. And maybe
Yes.
you can also share the link to all the trainings that are offered on CNVC's website, of which some of them are for free and some of them are in-person meetings and some of them are online. So there's
Yes.
a big variety of online choices and in-person choices.
Absolutely. So this was very valuable information, and I'm grateful to be on this call to talk with you guys. I've learned a lot from you guys, and just hearing the Q&A has really been an informative process.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Here. Yeah.
I like what Jude said also about the fact that you've learned a lot without empathy, compassion, and not interrupting people, when they're talking. So all of those things are important, and it's well worth learning and practicing, because you certainly have to practice it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you for answering, Debbie. Sorry, Shard.
Debbie is fine.
Debbie's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe because you didn't come to a training that tackles so many days, maybe I just want to share a little bit about it. I've been to mostly online trainings of 1.5 hours in my life, and then I've been to some trainings that last 2 to 3 days. But an IIT strikes me in a very complete, very different way. Once you are traveling, so all the ritual to travel somewhere and invest your time, your resources to go somewhere just for that already creates such a strong atmosphere for me. And then once you are there for 9 days sharing with the same people, you get a chance to, or I got, and I've heard it from multiple people, that you get a chance to, to be triggered and to be moved, to be touched, to go through all the process that we go in a daily life. But then you are just going through it with quite radically different approach, and with the trainers there to support us, to offer empathy, to guide us, or to help us even maybe go through some conflicts, mediate some conflicts that happens within the IITs with people that reminds us from traumas or a multitude of things that we hold inside.
Yes, I think that is very interesting. And thanks for sharing that information with me. I do appreciate that. And I think that's what, matter of fact, I know that's one of the things that excites me most. It's like having a 9-day retreat and, seeing things from a different perspective, and being there with people that it's a great practice to be there with people that's already familiar with the process. So it would help you to have a lot of engagement with NVC as far as practice. And you certainly will have some great experts there that can lead you and guide you along the way. Just as Shinyu said, her parents attended a class and they went back to practice it in their family. So that gave them a lot of insight because they're there to support each other.
Yeah.
I like that very much, Debbie. And I want to add that between the people who have signed up, there is around 1/3 of them are actually advanced students of NVC. And there are some intermediate and there are some beginners, but it's a good mixture. So there's a lot of skills in the room just from day one when we meet. And
Oh.
that's another thing that makes the speed up the learning, that there's so many more experienced people around the beginners.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I've been doing a lot of research on it, and because sometimes things can get quite overwhelming.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it.
Thank you.
And I think the thing about the IIT is that, see, one trainer may do a session on self-empathy, and another trainer may do another session on self-empathy. And the way the experience of both of these can be quite different. The concept will possibly be the same, but the experiencing different trainers there's a flavor to it, or there are insights that we gain from every session, even though we may repeat or it may sound similar. So I have no hesitation in going to an NVC basics, introductory course with any other trainer. It just gives me, okay, that's an interesting way, or that's an insight that I get. So the nuances and the flavor and the experience of it is very different, and each trainer brings something very special to their trainings and sessions. Something that can be very connecting, or something that, sort of suddenly there's a light bulb that goes on in my head and say, oh, I never thought of it that way.
Wow, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that information. That's great that there's some beginner classes and there's some intermediate classes and advanced classes. So there's a variety, and that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And classes where we mix the beginners, intermediate, and advanced. The last days of the
okay.
9, there will not be a beginner's track all the way through. The first 3 days, I think we will have a beginner's track, and then we'll mix the groups, and you get to explore the topics, any topic of how to parent or how to have a better educational system. You explore it with this group that is mixed of people from different skill levels. And actually, we don't want to look so much at the skill level because we're all learning. The advanced people are still learning. I've been with this for 26 years. I'm still learning. So we help each other grow in our capacity to apply this process. It's not something you just learn from ABC and then you're done. Check. I know that, done that.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that information. That's very enlightening. Good information. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Gesine and Sinu, anything more you would like to share or ask about?
I guess I'm now thinking about how to travel, and I'm grateful that you put out also a spreadsheet where people can coordinate lifts or travel by train together or whatever. So I appreciate this is where I'm looking at now, how to travel to Denmark. And I saw already people on the spreadsheet, so I guess I can connect with them and see how it works.
How long is the journey for you, Gesine?
From door to door, also if I go by train, 22 hours. Also I'm planning to go by train. Also, I would like then to meet my family in Hamburg. Also I can I come via Brussels, Cologne, Hamburg, further. But yeah, it's nice. I like to travel by train. It's slower and I can relax. So, but I don't know, Kirsten, how long does it take me to go from the border to Nyköping, I guess?
I don't know that by heart, but I think from the border to Copenhagen is it 3 hours or something? But you will have a division. You won't go all the way to Copenhagen. You'll go north, maybe
Yeah.
from Sorø or Slagelse, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And you go to Nykøbing, and there you can arrange a pickup or a bus or drive with someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can also go by rowing boat. You would arrive exactly on the north of Denmark where Martinus is. It's going to be super easy.
Might take a little longer, but it's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't arrive on the time again.
If you start early enough. So.
But knowing you come by bike, maybe I will try to hitchhike and see if I catch you.
Yeah.
Yes, I have exchanged with some participants, and at least one of them is going to hitchhike from Switzerland to Denmark.
Ooh,
It's going to be like 1,500 kilometers at least.
yeah. And Sudha, when will you arrive?
I'll come in a little earlier because I want, because of the time difference, I would like to. So I will probably reach there on the 10th
Yeah,
and stay in Copenhagen for some time and then go ahead.
nice.
Yeah, because for me, it takes me a while to, adjust to the time difference.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is it enough to know English to get by in Denmark?
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
very reassuring.
You can find people who don't understand much English, but most people speak English fluently.
Okay,
You
great.
need to look hard to find someone who don't understand you. But they exist.
Because whatever little I see of the Danish language, I'm thinking I have no idea what is being
We can
said
teach
or
you. We can teach you.
yes.
It's not so different from English, actually.
Okay.
Like good morning is godmorgen. So
Mm.
not that different. And in German, guten Morgen.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's not so different.
Yeah. I guess you will enjoy Copenhagen.
Mm.
So I guess it's a great idea to stop there. I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward also to the sea. As I'm happy it's close to the sea. The wind.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to check again with Sinu if there's something coming up for you that you like to share or ask about.
Not at the moment because it's the midnight in China. So I think my
Okay.
brain is just not working very well.
Okay.
But so far it's been very helpful information, everything that you guys shared.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
I
it's
think-
very, very much time difference between us and China. So you have midnight now. Or is it
Yeah.
past midnight even?
It's past midnight, 12:30.
12:30. Okay.
Thanks for staying with us up so late.
Yeah. Thank you for joining at this
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy to connect.
So my sense is that there is nothing else to be asked or shared. So unless someone objects, I would invite us for a checkout. And would should I start?
Okay. I'm feeling very happy with this conversation and this small circle that we have. There's something about it that is maybe personal, if that is, or some way getting to know each other a little more. And therefore, I'm happy that we are here, and I'm keeping my fingers, my toes, my eyes crossed, hoping to see both of you there, Debbie and Sinu. I'd really love to see. What I want to end with is a saying that came into my inbox in the morning and which I have been mulling over, which is that people are more than their greatest mistake. This, I mean, it's not connected with the call, but however, I'm sort of, I want to share this because this is something that has been playing in my mind, and I'm trying to apply this using the NVC that I know and the consciousness that I am aware of to look at different people in my life. And yeah, that's what I want to share with you.
Thank you, Sudha. Would you pass the word to someone else?
Yeah. What about Sinu?
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I felt, I guess, in the beginning a little bit surprised because the Chinese formats, I was expecting like people just dialing in and listening to like a conversation that shares all the information that people who dial in just listens, which is why I thought it was okay to dial in at midnight. And also felt excited because I think it's been a while since I last attended the IIT. So just hearing the topics and like even just like the way people communicate with each other, like it's like I can feel like the spirits in the voices. So it makes me feel very excited. And almost a little bit reminiscent or like nostalgic about the really great experience that I had. Yeah, so very grateful.
Thank you, Sinu. Would you pass the word to someone else?
Yes, Debbie.
Thank you so very much. I'm excited. This is giving me a lot to look forward to. We're planning an awesome trip. There's no doubt in my mind that I will meet some great people, learn a lot, and I'm just grateful. I just feel so good. I'm glad that I decided to schedule this call, and it exceeded my expectations. You guys are great.
Thank you, Debbie. Would you pass the word to someone else?
Sure. Kristen.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is difficult for American people to say. I'm Kirsten, not Kristen, but I accept you call me anything. Kristen, Christina, whatever. Kirsten, Kirsten. Just call me something like that. But the way my mother said it is Kirsten.
Kirsten. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, that's something else to practice.
Yeah. Yeah. I have so enjoyed our meeting here, and I especially appreciate the questions you come with and the spirit in which you ask the questions. And one thing more I have really enjoyed is that between us, Sudha, you and I, that we didn't agree who is leading the word or something, that we did it as a kind of co-facilitation and having space for each other's contributions. I totally like it when we don't need a facilitator, because we facilitate ourselves, speaking my word, giving space for others to speak. And yeah, so it's been a very sweet meeting for me. And I know Christina will be there. Good to see you again after a long time.
Yeah.
And would be wonderful if Debbie and Sinu makes it there too. And you, of course,
Thank you.
Sudha, I know I'll see you. Thank you. So I pass the word to Gesine.
Thank you. Yeah, I also enjoyed the meeting. I feel warm in my heart and I feel the connection, and I'm really looking forward to come to Denmark and see you in person. All of you, I hope.
I think I'm the last one.
Jew, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm grateful that Gesine, Debbie, and Sinu came, because we didn't have any people registered, and I thought, well, in the last case, it's just a friendly conversation between Sudha, Kirsten, and me, but you enriched my last hour a lot, so thank you for that. Being very sunny here. It's now the time that the sun doesn't set anymore in Finland, and today is especially bright. And it's lovely to share this time with you. Yes, I hope to see all of you in Denmark in the IIT. That's me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a safe travel to get here.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, thank you. Bye bye.